fellow Vitae readers and viewers. I know many of you have asked about a video or presentation on meditation, and so here I am to oblige. It's been a number of months that I've been meditating, and I've received just tremendous benefits from doing so. And many of you have asked me my techniques and how I felt and everything, so here I am to tell you about it. Through the last few months, I've been meditating fairly consistently, about 12 minutes a day, and has been just absolutely fantastic. I mean, I've become more centered, more grounded, and just feel so much more at peace with everything, and I'm not nearly as wrapped up in the dramas of life that we all experience. And although the benefits of meditation may not seem as concrete as, for example, changing your diet or taking the right supplements or even adding exercise, I think you'll find that meditation really works with all of those to make you feel so much better and to deal with the challenges and stresses of life. There was a New York Times article about 6 to 9 months ago talking about the benefits of meditation, and they looked into a number of research studies that have been done frequently in labs with MRIs and CAT scans, and they found that it can improve neurological function, and that meditation also improves learning and memory. And these are great benefits, but most people will tell you that what they find when doing meditation is not nearly so concrete. People say it reduces anxiety, stress, anger, that it helps to calm a short temper, that it can be useful for combating emotional eating or stress-induced mindless eating. It helps to develop inner confidence and a greater sense of self, that we become less tied up in the dramas of life. I know for me this has been very true. That we are less troubled by our emotions. It also helps to reduce blood pressure. Meditation, of course, helps to calm the mind, to allow the active brain to rest, that we become more thoughtful and empathetic, and that we are less controlled and driven by our habits. And while the benefits of meditation, knowing them concretely, may bring you to your meditative practice, it's unlikely that that's what will keep you there. It's only by your own feeling and by your own commitment that you'll continue to do meditation. And while they might drive you there, you'll feel such a tremendous sense of self once you begin a meditative practice. And if you really focus and only meditate for the sort of concrete neurological or physical benefits of it, you're really not getting the true value out of the meditative practice. So even though the benefits are amazing, you really need to be able to feel and settle into your meditative practice. And then there are different types of meditations. Some types may surprise you. For example, moving meditation. Moving meditation may include Tai Chi, Qigong, or even yoga. Anything that links breath and movement with body and mind can be a type of meditation. Prayer, whether it might be, if you're Buddhist, counting prayer beads, or even Christian rosary beads. But prayer is definitely a type of meditation. It's a focused endeavor with calming the mind and finding the blessed in all of us. There's also chanting or mantra meditations where we repeat a phrase either internally or out loud. Examples of mantra meditation include transcendental meditation and kundalini. Dreaming is another type of meditation. Perhaps you're staring off into the distance, not interrupted or distracted by noises, thoughts, movements, and you just enjoy the view, keeping your mind as still as possible. Of course, there's mindfulness meditation, where you're so engrossed in something that it totally takes over your concentration. Maybe it's painting or drawing, where all of your mental effort is focused on one type of thing. This is a mindfulness meditation. However, the meditation that most common and that I tend to practice is stillness, where you're sitting still and trying to quiet the mind. The goal is not to let the mind drift, but rather to perhaps focus on the breath or just focus on stilling the mind. And the stillness meditation is the type that I'll talk about mostly today. So when you decide to get started meditation, you need to think about a little about what your goals are or what type of meditation most suits you. And also perhaps how long you want to do it for. If you're trying to do a stillness meditation, then you're probably not going to be able to do it as long as if you were doing a moving meditation. Many people, their goal is just to calm the mind and to find peace. And in that case, your best bet may be the stillness meditation as well. So, in a stillness meditation, we want to calm the mind, even still it, while focusing on the breath. You're probably going to want to set up a comfortable area in your home, although it can be done certainly in a hotel room or anyplace else, and you may designate a certain area for always doing your meditation. It needs to be comfortable, it needs to be homely, it needs to be a place for reflection, quiet, not where the laundry machine's going, or the kids are running and screaming, or the TV's blaring. It needs to be quiet and soothing for you. You may want a candle, or you may want some pillows. You probably want a cushion to sit on, and you're definitely going to want to have a backrest. You need something to help keep your back straight and elongated. When you're sitting, if you're not comfortable sitting on the floor, you can sit in a chair, but make sure it's a chair with a fairly straight back. And then you're going to want to ensure that you keep your spine straight so that the energy can travel up along your spine and then recirculate throughout your body. You're going to want to wear loose, comfortable clothing so that you can breathe fully, and so that you can sit comfortably for what may seem like a very long time as you try to quiet and still your mind. When we think about breathing, most of us take short, shallow breaths throughout the day and don't realize how limited our breath capacity is. So when you sit down to do your meditation, you're going to want to think about expanding your breath and lengthening your inhales and your exhales. You may try belly breathing, where you expand out your belly and then it collapses back in on the exhale. If you've mastered that, you might want to try expanding the belly, expanding the chest, and raising the collarbones. And then everything comes back down on an exhale. The longer you can make your inhales, the longer your exhales will be. And by slowing the breath, we also slow the mind. And it's only when we slow the mind that it can actually be calmed or stilled. And then I know, when you first sit down to meditate, your mind's going everywhere. Trust me, I've been there too. And some days are certainly worse than others. You never know, maybe work has caught up with you, maybe it's friends are having too many dramas, or maybe it's your own life that's causing you stress. But some days, no matter how much breathing you do, it just may not help you to calm down. So then there are other techniques that we can use to help bring focus, to help become centered to beginner meditation practice. Sometimes I'll turn on a chant and listen to a chant for the first 5 minutes of my meditation, and by then I'm calm enough that I can continue from there in stillness or quieting meditation. Other people have found that using something like earbuds, even just pulling the earbuds off your iPhone, sticking them in your ears, will magnify the sound of your breath. Okay, it's unplugged, so you're not listening to music or anything through it. But just having the earbuds in there helps to magnify your breath, so that's really the only thing that you can focus on. Just stick them in and then breathe deeply. In doing so, you'll have a lot less distractions because your breath will take so much of your awareness with that. Another technique where we can close off all of our senses, I actually learned in India from an Indian guru. You put your thumbs on your ears, your index fingers on your eyes, your middle fingers on your nose, ring finger on the upper lip, and pinky on the bottom lip. And by doing this, you close off all of your senses. And in doing so, you really, really focus inside. The only thing you can think about is all of the pressure on your face, and you won't be having your mind nearly as scattered as it was before. And it's an extremely effective technique at getting centered and becoming present in the moment. So it looks essentially like this. And you won't need to do that for very long, maybe 90 seconds, just enough so that you become present, so that you become in the now, so that you're really aware of your breath and you're not distracted by everything else that's going on. And once you become more centered, you can release your hand and perhaps bring your hand into a mudra. Perhaps it's the mudra of knowledge, linking index and thumbs and placing palms up over the knees. You can also put your hands stacked in front of your waist, or just lay your palms comfortably on the outside of your knees. And then from there, you want to continue with your eyes closed, breathing deeply, and just think about quieting or stilling the mind. It may be challenging, and some days are certainly going to be worse than others. And it's really just the attempt, the effort at quieting the mind that makes all the difference. And it's not a bullying the self, because the more you fight against yourself or bully your mind into being quiet, the more it's going to want to run. It's just a gentle pulling it back to center, becoming present, and focusing on where you are, listening to your breath. It's truly a remarkable experience, and I really hope you'll give it a try. I recommend 12 minutes a day. 12 is an ancient number that was found to be very effective for meditation and everything else. And so that's why I've been using 12 minutes a day. So my challenge to you is, can you do 12 minutes a day for 30 consecutive days? And of course the mind's going to wander. Don't worry about that. The goal is to just sit there and calm it as much as possible, to be present, to be in the now, to feel grounded, to feel centered. You may want to close your eyes and think about energetically looking at the third eye. And I don't get all crazy on me and telling me, oh, that's some Hindu crazy concept. The location of the third eye, just in the middle and above our two eyebrows, is actually where the pituitary gland is located. And so by energetically looking in that direction, we're actually stimulating the pituitary gland to secrete the proper levels of hormones, which is great for your health as well. So again, I challenge you, can you do 30 consecutive days, 12 minutes a day of meditation? Just sit quietly, comfortably, back straight, breathe deeply, and slow the mind, focusing either breath or your heart or the third eye, and find as much peace and ease in that position as you can.